What's up? It's Echo disrupting, we're vibing tonight. Trending topics in the spotlight, breaking down what's right. With smooth grooves and R&B, feel we bring the heat. Critical thought for everyday life, we're keeping it real.
Welcome back to the bonus episode of Echo Disrupted.
Welcome, 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 welcome.
Yeah, this is the off the cuff, off the top trending topics, getting our feedback. It's been an interesting week. I think everybody is in this pre-holiday. Let's start some ish.
Yeah, all the people who were who were struggling to buy milk and gas suddenly found money for to be able to go shopping. So shout out to them.
Right,
While we do our midweek tap in,
right.
just to kind of go over the topics of the week.
Yeah.
Um, interesting week, right? So when we last spoke, it was right before literally the news broke on Jay Z and the alleged rape of the 13-year-old. But I would love to get your feedback. Tell me what you think. Just across the board, what you think. I hope that my take on it isn't controversial, quote unquote, but would love to get your feedback. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, so the Jay-Z, if you it's been around, depending on who you hear, so much talk associating him with the Diddler, the Rock Nation brunch being canceled. Uh, so I think that people are trying to, make dots connect, be it the different stories that have come out, legacy stories allegedly about Foxy Brown and him. So I think in her age. So I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. In the realm of all other things happening in this world, I got 99 problems and Jay
Yeah,
Z ain't one. Like
Jay Z ain't
for real.
one. I
But I do think that you know that letter that he wrote in response to um, Tony Busby. I think it, I know people were saying like they thought it was Jay Z. For some reason, I thought it read like Alex Spiro, the lawyer. So, but hey, I don't know. I don't know. Nay, one of them, but it just to me didn't read. It read to me like a lawyer, and specifically Alex Spiro.
really,
But
why so?
yeah, it did to me. For some reason, I didn't get Jay Z out of it, but Um, and then now the back and forth between, Tony Busby and all this stuff and, calling out the Jane Doe. I think, it's a interesting day to me, just overall. And I'll circle the cart back to Jay-Z, but because of the Diddler cases, all of the lawsuits, all of the different things that are coming out, it just seems as though it kind of puts a a dark cloud on if you are, sexually abused, whatever the case is, and you do want to file as a Jane Doe for protection. It's almost like that's getting thrown out the window because the whole idea is that everybody's on for a money grab. This is
Yeah,
a civil suit. This isn't criminal. All of the legalities and all of the talk that's out here. Probably that's one of the biggest takeaways for me is that
hmm
where does that leave,
the legit cases.
yeah, and cases have to be tried, right?
hmm
So I think that that's the piece that probably comes out to me the most, as everyone becomes numb to it. And then also, how do you get a fair trial, when the public sentiment will probably be against you anyway, right? But circling back to Jay-Z, the letter didn't seem to me, I didn't think it was him writing it. And I mean, you know what? Let it go through the process, go through the criminal justice system or, well, really not the criminal justice system, the civil um, system and go through the case. What's interesting is that if there is some, if this Jane Doe does have some legitimate, something to collaborate her story, if there's something that she has that can kind of tie it back, it could potentially become a criminal case, right?
Yeah,
So, I mean, we'll see. But that's all I got on the Jay-Z. What is your take on it?
good points.
Controversial?
Good point. I gotta tell you, right? It's again, I'm not necessarily really into the celebrity news thing.
Mhm.
However, we've had a 30 year uh, um, we've essentially had a 30-year relationship with Jay-Z's image. And I gotta tell you that if it turns out that it's actually true, I'd be shocked because it just appears off brand for him. Right? So much of what he does is so calculated. Like you think about it, how many relationships outside of Beyonce, who do we really know that Jay-Z actually dated? We've heard, right? We've heard that he's been with, Blue Cantrell or Free from,
Yeah.
106 in Park and some of the
Mhm.
other people, right? But we've never seen Jay-Z out with nobody. We've heard that he was with Aaliyah as well, right? But that was never a relationship in the media, right? The other one was what's her name? Oh man, the actress Rosario Dawson, right? You
Do
so
you think Yeah,
that
do you think that that's just the times? Meaning like now everybody has a phone, it's social media. Like somebody probably back in the day, you had to go to CVS or one of them and go print out a picture.
yeah, but
Like,
we knew Jay-Z, we knew Puff was dating Jennifer Lopez, right? We knew the people, right? There were people who were okay with being in the spotlight. Even one of the problems that he had with Dame, right? If you know some of the stories, Jay never really liked the camera. Jay didn't like doing videos, right? Didn't want like Dame Dash wanted to do movies. It was always a struggle to get Jay to be in front of the camera. Just he's he's intensely private, right?
mhm,
Notoriously private.
mhm.
And this, I do not want to feel like I'm defending him, but I'm a people studier. I watch how people move. And again, it it it, it could very well be true. I have no idea one way or the other. Right? I was never in
Mhm.
one of those rooms. That being said, it's like, okay, you're asking me to, if the story's presented the way that they want, the way that they presented it, it's like you're really asking me to believe a lot. So this 13-year-old girl from out of town comes to New York to go to the VMAs. Is it the VMAs? I think it was one of those award shows.
It was
Has no
one.
ticket.
Mhm.
Happens to bump into Diddy's chauffeur. He says, "I can't get you into the awards, but I can get you into an after party." Goes to the after party. She's sitting there. Somebody puts something in her drink. She goes to a bedroom and gets taken advantage of while Puff, Jay, and some lady are in the room. You're asking me to jump to a whole lot of stuff to get to that story, right? It's like it is it possible? Maybe. What will my it's just a lot. There's a lot happening, right? Here's the other thing. Let's just put ourselves back in 2000, early 2000s. What exactly would Jay-Z or Diddy need to drug anybody to get sex from them? Those dudes could walk into any room and basically have whoever they wanted, with the exception of you, of course. But
Thank you.
essentially, it's like you're really asking the public, right, the critical thinker, to really jump to, like, girlfriend, you're 13 years old. I don't know you from a can of paint. I shouldn't, to be honest with you, you just being here and all the hoops you jumped through to get here. Why would I need to drug you? Like you, I mean, again, it's. But hey, let's, to your point. I think there is there's a faction, a growing faction. It appears that people are kind of like, yeah, I don't know about this. Like, I was listening to Van Lathan kind of give his perspective on it, and he's like, the amount of billionaires that Jay Z is aligned with. Right, even the NFL has said, listen, we heard about it and up
Yeah.
until something really comes out, when we're gonna, our relationship remains in place. That says a lot, right?
Right. I think they extended Beyonce's performance for the Houston.
it
Texans.
yeah. So you're watching these things happen, and essentially, although it's not, no one said it, but essentially, kind of like, okay, uh, what's his first name? What's the lawyer's first name?
Who? Tony or Alex?
Tony Busby.
Tony Busby. Yeah. Mhm.
I think the overall feeling is that you might have bitten off more than you could chew this time around. That's kind of where it looks like it's going. That's what Van Lathan was saying. Van Lathan was like, yeah, you might have did it this time.
I think he's running for mayor of Houston.
Who's that? Tony Busby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, that might be in trouble, right? And what they're saying is Jay-Z got the long money to be able to fight this fight, and the impact that it could have or could potentially have on Tony Busby's career is essentially career threatening, right? Mm-hmm. Again, it's this, the way that the system works. For anybody could lodge a complaint and say, hey, you did this to me. So let's just say 2000, what did they say? What year was it? 2001, did they say? So let's call it 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. Like, how do we even prove any of that, right? It's like, at this point, what physical evidence is there? What physical evidence exists to be able to corroborate that story? Mm-hmm. And again, not saying whether it happened or not. It's like, okay, how do we know? How do we know Jay-Z was where you was? How are we going to verify that, right? Mm-hmm. How are we going to verify that Puff was there? Whoever this young lady is, right? Now the other question becomes, young lady, how did you get here? What did you tell the people that you were that walked you in? How old did you tell them you were? And this is not blaming the victim by no stretch of the imagination. It's like, okay, well, a lawyer, and I'm not one, is going to ask these questions, right? So it's just a lot for me. I think we are now in this day and age where, the truth is essentially what you can pay for, right? And it's that's pretty tough, right? Because I've heard before this, maybe last year sometime, when Jay was talking about, like, he listened to some of the songs he sung back in the day. He's like, yo, what was I even thinking, right? Because you're in a different space, right? That's the one thing about hip hop is not meant to grow old.
He has 2 daughters. So
yeah, he's like, what? Like he said, I think, like, he was listening to Big Pimp, and he was like, oh my, like because again, you're in a different space. So could you imagine now, fast forward, that this person's coming and making these accusations about me at this stage of my life? I think he just turned 54, 55. Like, so I'm not even on that type of time. Like, what are we even talking about? But we will see. The one thing they had said that, people have said that, oh, he's with Foxy Brown, this, that, and the third. Foxy Brown is Clark Kent's blood cousin. Clark Kent has been a Jay-Z comrade forever, right? It's like, and Foxy Brown has said that relationship has never gone beyond, peers and friendship. Mm-hmm. But again, we're in this media age where it's like people are okay with just jumping to conclusions, mm-hmm. and drawing conclusions that aren't really connected to anything. But mm-hmm. we will see where it goes.
That's totally fair. I think it's easier to jump on any of these, takes. You know what I mean? Especially if it's something that's sensational,
Yeah. It's hard for me to follow these things. A friend of mine asked me, he said, what do you think? I said, bro, like, I don't really care about these things, man. It's like, these celebrity things, man, will drive you crazy if you just sit there and pay attention to. By the way, these people getting all kind of paid. Now, mind you, Jay-Z was paying my mortgage. Oh boy, yeah, yo, I'm really worried about what's going to happen to this dude.
Right, exactly.
But at the end of the day, it's okay. It doesn't seem like it doesn't appear to make sense to everybody listening. Mm-hmm. So if I had a prediction, I think this is kind of going to fizzle, and I think Tony Busby is going to probably end up being in a little bit of trouble, which is going to impact all the rest of the cases that he's been involved with.
Yeah, fair.
We shall see.
while we in the rap sphere, what's your take on Remy and Pap?
Doom, 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 doom. Drama. So I will tell you the funniest thing that I have seen is they said Remy went and cheated on Pat with a Timu version of Pat. The dude Timu slash Sheen version of Papoose. Listen, that I don't know these people personally. I think what the willingness that people have to put their business in the street is astounding to me. Right? Like the depths that these people are willing to go to, right? To and I guess it's for fame. I'm assuming it's for fame. But my gosh, right? It's at the end of the day, there's a 6-year-old girl, their 6-year-old daughter who's essentially going to get caught in the crossfire. Remy's having herself a little bit of a tough year. Her son just got jammed up for pay for murder situation, right? I don't know where her career is going, but it's been a hot minute since she's made any meaningful
According to
music.
Fat Joe, she got an album ready.
Yeah,
he
okay.
was in Breakfast Club this week and said that.
So I'm assuming that Big Pun is still mixing it before it gets released, right? So no disrespect intended, but I mean it's again there's just everybody's just okay with just doing the nothing thing. Like, okay, we're just gonna just let's just be nothing today, right? I'm gonna put my sexual exploits out on the internet. By the way, Clarissa Shields, right, is which is interesting to me. That's a weird pairing. Clarissa Shields and Papoose.
He likes chicks that like to fight.
He found the right one. And if I'm Remy, I keep this all on the phone and on the internet. I don't go see her. I don't want nothing to do with that child. Because Remy, that chick will knock you back to the way you used to look. So
you saying Remy don't have no hands?
Not them kind of hands. I heard I think it was shoot, it might have been the video chick Gloria Velez cleaned the floor with her one time back in the days. You can't get beat up by a video vixen and think you got something to say to Clarissa Shields. If I'm you, I don't
want to hear that. Keep that quiet.
Listen, if I'm you, I change my phone number. I'm like, listen, Pap, go do what you need to do. Just keep that chick off me, right? Because Remy tried to play the
relationship was right.
Huh?
They were saying that they were kind of like, I guess, Pap didn't want to move out the house, so they were still living in the same house, but like different sections or whatever. I don't know what that means, but
it's messy. There's no way around it. It's just messy. That whole thing is just messy. God bless them children. Goodness, man. Like it's I cannot imagine being in their situation and where you're in a fishbowl and all these people are looking at you every move you make. That being said, Remy,
no, but they were, I don't watch Love and Hip Hop, but they were on Love and Hip Hop. Like, I think they really, unpopular opinion, like Pap could be like the all-time bird, like meaning, you stuck with Remy, air quotes, while she was locked up for 6 years. That became like the big Black love story. He riding with her while she locked up. Da 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 da. But who knows what he's doing? Who checking him? Like, you know what I mean? She ain't. She not gonna roll up. She ain't looking in no phones. So. So then it builds from there. And then now they have this whole story. They get married on that show and they do all this stuff. And I'm not saying, and I don't want to sound like I'm anti-love, but and what happened to Pap's career? Like, from a rapper perspective, like now it's just like it became his career became being the one that held Remy down. And now y'all on this Black love bit. And that's it. So I'm like, he doing what all birds do. You find another coop with some money, because old girl's about to have a movie come out about her life.
His timing is
Over the
wonderful,
month
isn't
on
it?
Christmas. Huh?
His timing is wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. If anything, I was like, y'all was supposed to keep, if anything, I didn't even know she had a movie coming out, So now, thanks to all of this, that's the only reason why I even knew. So there's that. So maybe it was effective. But I mean,
Mission accomplished.
right, exactly. I was just like, you seek out your prey. You find the ones, you find what their weakness is, and you go and kind of play into it to kind of say, like, oh man, old girl's locked up. Who else gonna really hold her down like that? I guess Fat Joe, maybe.
No. They weren't. They weren't
They
bubbling at
fell
that
out
time.
right at
So
that time. So I'm just saying. So now you have someone that has an allegiance to you because you was there when she was down. So now y'all build this up, and he's making some coin, through this. And she allegedly says he has some kind of, all the dirt was coming out. He got a girl in Cali. Oh, he got a gambling problem. Oh, this, oh, that. I don't care. But I was just like, he definitely got them in it to win it bird tendency. So yeah.
You know what though? I mean, if I could look at it objectively, I don't know their business, nor do I really want to. Right? Whatever he was doing, he was quiet about it. Girlfriend, you wouldn't you put yourself in a little bit of a spot here, right? You wouldn't mess with, first and foremost, you wouldn't mess with a battle rapper. It's like I mean, what are we doing? Right?
Well, I guess, I agree. It's her
like,
it's her network, it's her thing that she set up. So he's nailing the boss, I guess.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, if the goal was ascension, you just took a back step, right?
And now knows, so who's talking?
Huh?
Everybody knows, like in the whole battle rap scene, everybody knew. So
and now, unfortunately for her, she's going to be the subject matter, at least for the next, huh?
She was,
because like she's going to remain. It's going to be even worse, right? For the next 90 days, it's going to essentially be, she's going to be, this is going to be on the menu. It's like, this is so poorly calculated, right? It's like, but again, like, what do we expect, right? It's no disrespect intended, but like, what do we really expect?
Yeah, I saw his live. I didn't see all of it. I saw a clip. You know how I am about dudes when they get high pitched talking. I can't. That whole this comes out. I can't. I can't do it. I was like, that's when I exited stage left. I was like, okay, I'm done.
I hear you. What are your thoughts on the gentleman? What's his name? Luigi Mangione. The United Healthcare CEO killer, also known as the hero. They got a picture of him. Well, did you send it to me? Where the United they call him the patron saint, the patron saint of healthcare.
Oh wow!
And it's a picture of him looking like Jesus.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
Crazy though. Listen, this dude was. It didn't make any sense on its surface, but this dude was brilliant. Like the way he pulled it off, and even when he got caught, he's like, "Listen, they know there was nobody else. Hey guys, I have an advanced understanding of engineering. I did this by myself. All I needed was a pen and a pad to pull this off. You don't need to go look for anybody else."
Yeah, it's funny because they're like, oh, the eyebrows don't match. There's so much stuff going on. Again, not getting wrapped up into, because I had my own take on when it first happened, still letting it marinate. But for me, not getting wrapped up into him and everybody looking at him as some kind of sex symbol and all these other things and heroes and angels and all this stuff, I really don't think it's going to make a change in terms of this being like that tip across the bow to be like, oh, now, people are going to start looking at this. And this is the one time when people, across all stages and different lifestyles, everyone is in agreement. Man, miss me with that. Y'all, I don't believe half of this stuff that people are out here saying, because if that was the case and everybody was so about it, then we would have had this come up in the election that just passed. Like, to me, I just feel like this is just like a whole bunch of talk. And then you saw the woman in Lakeland, Florida, who she was on the phone with Blue Cross. She's a mother of 3, and I guess they denied a claim. She was hot and bothered about it, and then kind of like repeated the same words that he had allegedly on the bullets, but deny, defend, deny. Lord knows I can't remember. But I'll get her name. So the very long story short is that she said that on, so wait, here it is. Lakeland woman threatens insurance company and says delay, deny, depose. So this is from WFLA, news station in Florida. So she was charged on Tuesday after a call to an insurance company with those words. And in the arrest affidavit, the Lakeland Police Department said officers were contacted by the FBI on Tuesday. So now her name is Brianna Boston, and they charged her, I think it was like $100,000. I'm like skimming the article because so however, the judge set her bond at $100,000, stating, I do find that the bond of $100,000 is appropriate considering the status of our country at this point. So that is, so I can't even begin to say,
I think it's going to have no impact long term on anything. This is America at the end of the day.
Right. So now everybody getting caught up in this like this whole, gust of wind, I'm going to just say. And now look at this real life situation here. You're a mother of 3. Who, you got $100,000? Really?
Yeah, that's the way the system works.
Right. So that's why I'm like, for all of the, maybe I might see a meme here or there, but I'm not buying into any of this, because if that was the case, then we would have had Medicare for all.
Listen, so that's not going to happen.
I'm just saying, if everybody felt like that, so we was 40% in alignment with that, like what, 2016, and now it bumps up to 62%. I hate to say, I don't trust nobody with all this talk. Whatever they think the wave is, I don't care what the media is saying. I don't care. I just feel like it sounds fly. That's my line. It sounds fly. But whether or not anything is gonna happen, absolutely not.
Absolutely not. We are in agreement. Let's finish off with finish off with 2 things, right? The gentleman, the guy Daniel Penny, got off for killing the black kid in on the train. I forgot what the young man's name is that he killed. And he got off. Say again?
Jordan Neely.
Jordan Neely. Thank you for remembering. His name should be remembered. Mm-hmm. No shock at all. This is New York. This is America. This is what happens. J.D. Vance invited him to the Army Navy game on Saturday, and he'll be attending. And this is where we are, right? The other thing is your thoughts on Joe Biden's pardons.
Yeah, so Joe Biden and the pardons, I think he's going to do more. I think his history of being erratic is there, and I think he's probably on 0 fucks. I know he didn't do Marilyn Mosley. Gosh, I can't pronounce that. Yeah, thank you. But I'm not. I hate to say I'm holding out hope, because God knows I don't believe anything, but we'll see. I don't think he's done yet. What do you think?
So he had the biggest day ever in terms of the most pardons in one day. Mm-hmm. let's see him do it again, right? It's so he doesn't have a window, and this is pardon me for being a blind spot, but he doesn't have a window. I mean, he doesn't have like a short window. Like he can continue to pardon people for the rest of his term, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so I mean, he still got like a good 6 weeks or so, whatever.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So we still got time.
We got time.
Let's see it. Let's see what happens. Let's see where this ends up.
Okay.
Of course, you can't please everybody, right? Because of course, at some point or another, right, there's gonna be the crowd yelling, "How come you ain't free Mumia?" And there's certain places he wouldn't go, but I would like to see, him let Jesse Jackson Jr. and his wife get off.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see Marilyn Mosby get off. As it relates to the impact it's going to have, I think for the Black community, I don't think it's going to do anything for any of us, because I actually don't believe that a lot of us understand, have the grasp, are going to be able to grasp what that actually means.
Mm-hmm.
But it's for those people and their families, it's going to have pretty decent impact, God willing. Let's see what happens, right? Joe Biden can be a little bit unpredictable, and I don't know what's guiding those thoughts. I don't know where the influence is coming from. So we will see where that ends.
Oh, we didn't do Daniel Penny, Jordan Neely. Yeah, to me it was excessive. 6 minutes, you can definitely that's way too much. But like you said, I'm in agreement.
Listen, this is
house treatment. So
those cases specifically, I don't emotionally involve myself with, because of the rage that it will develop internally for me. So I'm careful in terms of guiding my, protecting my space and protecting my emotions in that regard, because how many times have we seen it right over the years, right? I mean, there's so many cases, so many different directions we can go in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's almost like when you see those things happen, you see those outcomes, I'm not even shocked. Right. It's, this is what it is. America has always found a way to protect itself. I think that's the reason why, Luigi Mangione is kind of a little bit of a problem, because like, okay, well, you're not who we thought you were. Right. So we can't lionize you. We can't, there's no good story here or no good picture that we could paint. So now we just got to sit here and deal with it. Like, I'll give you an example, right? In the parting shot, Caitlin Clark comes out. She gets Sports Illustrated Woman of the Year, and essentially comes out there and gives an homage to all the Black players that came before her, right? And that laid the foundation for the WNBA. And white people started losing their minds, right? Megyn Kelly, Charlie Kirk, all these different, conservative white people started losing their minds, right? Because she said, her privilege is as a result of the job that these people have created. She says Maya Moore was her favorite player as a kid, and she inspired her to come play. And these people's like, oh wow, she's woke. All the 76 million people voted against wokeness by choosing Donald Trump, all this stuff. And essentially what they're saying is, we want you, Caitlin Clark, we'd prefer you to be racist or quiet. We don't want you to embrace, the people around you, or to pay homage to the people who came before you, the people who laid this foundation for you. So with people with that kind of perspective and those kinds of views, Daniel Penny getting off is completely on brand, right? This is what you expect. The hope is, right, that Daniel Penny gets his at some point, right? Let's just hope he tries that in the right circles with the right people, and things get handled, right? I always say these guys always find the right ones, because I don't know where the train was going, but had he made it up to the Bronx, I don't think he would have, or to Harlem, I don't know if that would have been, if he'd have been doing that. You go find a happy-go-lucky skinny dude who's having some mental trouble. That's the guy you want to grip upon. But if you see Shasha, or JJ or Raouf and them dudes, who drank a fifth this morning, and smoked a pound earlier, who who have you walking sideways if you even get next to them. You know, for some reason, you guys never mess with those dudes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just crazy that, the narrative of what happened and how Jordan Neely could legitimately want to go to jail so he can get a meal and have a bed. You know what I mean? Like that level of talking about if it's mental illness, homelessness, how there's
Crazy.
a trajectory that's already laid out for you.
Hmm.
Um,
This is where we are. This is America. It is
yeah,
what it is. Right?
exactly.
We could fight and we could fight City Hall all we want. We'll never win. It just is what it is.
Yeah. Well, it was good having a quick bite-sized Echo Disrupted.
And
Catching
we
up.
were disciplined this time too.
Huh? Yeah.
And we were disciplined. We stayed on task.
Yes. Always good to catch up with you.
Absolutely.
And
Always good to chat.
absolutely. Have a good one. Take
Take
care.
care. Till the next one.
All right.
What's up? It's April disrupting, we're vibing tonight. Trending topics in the spotlight, breaking down what's right. With smooth grooves and R&B, feel we bring the heat. Critical thought for everyday life, we're keeping it real.